Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Lives. If you're joining us from either of those platforms, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully, I'll be able to address it all as I go through the forecast here, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can address anything individually for you. So let's get started here. We've got that alert day in effect for tomorrow. We're talking about that chance for some snow in the morning, changing over to a mix and then all rain through the afternoon and into the evening hours. We're not expecting a lot of snow at all. We are expecting mostly just a slushy coating across much of the tri-state, maybe some areas north of I-64 get closer to an inch or a little bit more than that. However, it is just going to be overall a low impact storm system, especially as we get later on into the afternoon with the rain. However, during that morning time frame, I do still think there could be some pretty slick spots out there, and I want you guys to use some extra caution. It's going to be a busy weekend, lots of people shopping and traveling to and from home, so we just wanted to highlight that potential with that alert day. And looking at our winter alerts, we don't really have winter weather advisories for much of the tri-state except for Edwards, Wabash, and Wayne County there. That is set to expire by around midnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. However, I do expect that winter weather advisory to kind of expire once we see that transition over to rain. So I don't think it's going to last all day tomorrow. But here is a look at the other alerts going on. So the storm system, while it's impacting us here in the tri-state minimally, it is going to bring much of a greater impact to areas to our north. So areas like central and northern Illinois and Indiana, they could be getting up to 5-7 inches of snow in some locations. That's where they have all those winter storm warnings in effect. But let's get right into our forecast here in the tri-state, timing everything out through tomorrow. It looks like some snow showers will begin to work their way in from west to east between 6 and 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see that chance for some snow showers through the morning hours and then a little bit of a lull there during the late morning, early afternoon. During that lull, though, is when we're expected to see those temperatures begin to warm back up, and we're going to see that transition over to a little bit of a mix, eventually over to all rain as the system wraps up into Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. There's that chance for a few sprinkles overnight and maybe a flurry or two very early Sunday morning as colder air slams in on the backside of this system. But other than that, for Sunday, it looks like we're just going to have a few early showers and then just be quiet and cold and cloudy through the rest of the day. But here's a look at that snowfall forecast. Again, not a whole lot changed here throughout the day or even yesterday. Still thinking most of us end up with that coating, less than an inch for most of these areas in the light blue. Again, I think the best areas, or at least the best chance to see an inch or maybe even a little bit more, is going to be north of I-64 and west of I-69, primarily through Edwards, Wayne, and Wabash County. That's why they have that winter weather advisory in place. And when we start to warm up through the afternoon and even see some of that rain falling on top of it, a lot of this gets washed away anyway. So it's not like this is going to be sticking around for a while. But again, during that morning time frame and into the first part of the afternoon before we see that transition, I do still think there could be some slick spots, especially on the roads. So that is what that alert is pretty much for tomorrow. Then we have that other alert in effect for the start of next week, Monday night into Tuesday. It looks like we have another chance for some snow, and that chance looks a little bit better than what we're getting this weekend. It looks like we have that opportunity to see all snow for a lot of the tri-state, but there obviously a lot of things need to be ironed out, but I'll break down all those details as well. However, that's kind of the rundown headed into tomorrow. Hopefully that kind of covered everything. Let me go ahead and check out the comments before I move on. Patty says, good evening, driving to IU in the morning. What's on the menu up north? Well, the further north you go, the snowier and colder it's going to be. So you're going to be running into some heavier snowfall as you go farther north up into Indiana. So just be careful. Again, use caution. I'm sure you've driven through some snow-covered roads before. You just slow down and take it easy out there. That's my advice for everyone tomorrow. Again, if you don't have to go out and travel, especially in the morning, just stay at home. But, you know, it's always going to be a little bit slick out there, even with a little bit of snow that we're expecting. And Cheyenne says, good evening. Jeanette Rice, good evening. I'm not liking this cold weather at all. I'm right with you. I don't really like it all that much either. However, we are headed into winter, so we've got several more months of this to get through. But looking at our current conditions now, it's quiet out there. We are starting to see a very gradual increase in that cloud cover as that warm front begins to lift in from southwest to northeast. Most of us are sitting in the upper 20s right now. We'll hang out in the mid 20s probably overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We'll see that cloud cover increase there, and then there's that chance for that snow moving in during the morning hours before we see that transition over to rain through the afternoon. This whole system wraps up early Sunday morning, and we'll just be left with cloud cover, dry, and colder temperatures through the day on Sunday. And it looks like cold temperatures stick around with us here through that first week of December, indicating cooler air coming in from the north. And during that same time frame, we are expected to remain slightly above average in terms of our precipitation, so that obviously lends to that opportunity for some more snowfall. So again, outside of this weekend, minor accumulations, a little bit slushy, a little bit messy, especially in the morning, but the better opportunity for, I think, accumulating snowfall is going to be Monday night into Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be a lot cooler out there compared to this weekend, and we're set up a little bit better for it. So I'm going to take you through both model runs. I'll take you through the GFS model first, show you what it shows for our precipitation and then accumulations, and then I'll do the same thing for the European model just to show you guys the difference. This is the weather show, so we like to go into a little bit more detail here and give you a bit more of an inside scoop. But again, this second system way too far out in advance to give any good quality forecast on it. This is just literally the data I look at to come up with the forecast for you guys, so I figured we just look at it together. So this is, again, the start of next week. Monday night, it looks like another system will start to work in. The GFS shows a little bit of mixing going on there, especially south and east of Evansville, but it does look like there may even be a transition over to just all snow, especially as this system departs into early Tuesday morning. Now, snowfall accumulations that the GFS model is showing a little bit more than what the European is showing maybe around 3 inches here in the Evansville area, a few spots to the north seeing a little bit more. Now, the European model, very similar setup. Low moving in from west, but staying to our south. That is key here. The GFS, that low farther to the south. European, that low farther to the south compared to this weekend. That automatically puts us on the colder side of this storm system, and the European model may be a little bit more gung-ho on the colder aspect of this storm, so it's showing better chances to remain all snow. However, not as much moisture getting lifted up into the region because of that more southerly storm track. So there's a little bit of a balance in there, and the European model not as excited about snowfall accumulation for next week as the GFS is, only putting out an inch there through Monday night and into Tuesday. So obviously there is a lot more that's going to change, especially with that alert day headed into Tuesday. Tomorrow, again, more so just a travel impact, minor travel impacts possible, some slick spots. I just want you guys to be extra cautious, some snow showers in the morning, transitioning over to rain through the afternoon and evening hours, dry Sunday into Monday, take that full screen. Dry Sunday into Monday. We're looking at cloudy, cool temperatures in the 30s, and then Monday night into Tuesday, that second round moves in. Better chances for accumulating snowfall with that one, and it looks like we'll dry out by the middle of next week, and maybe even some more rain and snow on the way by next weekend. So a very, very busy pattern here over the next few days. So let me go ahead and check out some of the comments. Yep. Yes, no thunderstorms, just some embedded or just some cold rain after we see that transition. Good evening. Got to travel to Terre Haute. What are they expecting Saturday night? All right, let me go ahead and check that out for you. They're expecting very similar conditions to what we're getting. They're obviously going to be a little bit colder, so they're getting more in the way of snowfall, maybe not really seeing all that much of a transition higher up into Terre Haute. But let me go ahead and check out just what the model shows here. Our model camera doesn't really angle up towards Terre Haute, but I can at least get an idea for you. It's really going to be similar. I don't think you guys see much of that transition at all. I think it probably stays all snow, maybe mixing a little bit of sleet, but that's about it up towards Terre Haute. Mike Murray is watching. Why did you say change over when the map showed all snow north of Evansville. Are you talking about this particular model here? So when I show you guys these model runs, I don't necessarily want you to take them verbatim, but this model flip-flops a lot, but in general, we are going to be seeing a full-on transition over to rain, even areas north of Evansville. It doesn't show it here, but this is around 6 p.m. Saturday evening. If you look back off to our west, you'll notice that that rain snow line is actually well up to our north here. This probably is just a little bit of a resolution error headed into tomorrow, but you'll still notice we do have that rain snow line transitioning all the way to the north of Evansville. It's just not as noticeable with this model run just because of how the moisture is showing up. But we are expected to all see that changeover. Icy roadways, possible Monday night into Tuesday morning. Yes, absolutely. Again, I don't have as many details on that second system as I do for the one moving into tomorrow, but overall it looks like a colder setup for us, so the potential for all snow is a lot greater than compared to this system. This one's a little bit messier, a little bit wetter and warmer, just more for those minor travel impacts. So that is all the questions that I am seeing, so I am just going to hop off the live stream here. I'll end it here on the 7-day so you guys can get a good look at what's coming, but again, on alert tomorrow, snow in the morning, changing over to rain through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Any accumulations we see, very, very light, mostly just getting a coating out there, and then it'll be washed away by the rain. Folks north of I-64 and west of I-69, primarily Wayne, Edwards, and Wabash County, have the best shot at getting an inch of snow or even a little bit more. Now, we'll clear out of there for Sunday morning. We'll remain dry and cloudy through Sunday and into Monday. Then Monday night into Tuesday, we have that second storm system moving in, potential for some more accumulating snowfall before we dry out by the middle of next week. So that is all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to hop off the live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody, stay safe, be careful, and stay warm out there tomorrow.